Hello everyone, welcome back to our Queen's Facts. Today we're going to be looking at the Queen Elizabeth II death facts. Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's longest serving monarch, has died at Balmoral, aged 96, after reigning for 70 years. She died peacefully on first afternoon her Scottish estate, where she had spent so much of the summer. The Queen came to the throne in 1952 and witnessed enormous social change. She died on the 8th of September 2020 at 15:10. So 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. So that is the best time. Not the best time to die, but the death and the state funeral of the Queen Elizabeth, lovely Queen Elizabeth. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna Now we're gonna look at the Queen Elizabeth facts of her death. Now, so we're looking at this.
Elizabeth leaves Westminster.
The Queen is crowned, symbol of hope.
Queen Elizabeth rides forth.
Another extraordinary chapter has been written.
Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, has died at 96 years old. For many in Britain, Elizabeth II was the only living monarch they had ever known.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
Pomp and pageantry are the order of the day as Queen Elizabeth rides.
During her reign, the Queen helped delicately modernize the monarchy to fit contemporary culture.
Queen Elizabeth visited her North American realm.
The Queen wore a long dress with a matching turban.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth,
Making more than 260 official overseas visits and more than 95 state visits to over 115 countries. She was described as the most traveled head of state in the world by The Telegraph in 2012. At Buckingham Palace, she hosted leaders from President Kennedy to Pope John Paul II to Nelson Mandela.
The Queen rose to make a speech live to the Commonwealth.
When I was 21, I pledged my life to the service of our people, and I asked for God's help to make good that vow. And God bless all of you.
Born in 1926 to the Duke and Duchess of York, later King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, she was thrust in direct line to the throne when her uncle Edward VIII abdicated and her father inherited the throne. When her father died in 1952, the Queen ascended to the throne at the age of
he
25.
places it upon the Queen's head and removes his hands. The assemblage in one voice cries, God save the Queen.
Queen Elizabeth, symbol of hope for the dawn of a new Elizabethan era.
Long live the Queen.
By then, she was married to Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who gave up his naval career to serve the Queen and nation.
A former Greek prince, Philip gave up his Greek citizenship to become a British subject.
He has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years.
Together, the couple had 4 children and remained together until Philip's death in 2021. A patron of more than 600 organizations and charities, she enjoyed her leisure time surrounded by her beloved corgis and dorgies, giving shooting parties and breeding horses.
The corgi has a long association with the Queen. Since the age of 7, she's owned over 30, but now has just 2.
And where did you come? I know what you want.
She is survived by her 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren.
I'm incredibly lucky to have my grandmother in my life. She's a remarkably energetic and dedicated guiding force for her family. George and Charlotte, too, will discover how lucky they are to have such a wonderful great-grandmother, a role model for the rest of their lives.
We none of us will live forever.
So,
Some people hire a maid, some employ a nanny, but if you're the Queen of England, your staff is just a tad larger. Try 1,200 people. In fairness to the Queen, Buckingham Palace has 19 staterooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 78 bathrooms, 92 offices, and 188 staff bedrooms. The head of the Queen's household is Lord Chamberlain. No jewels are cleaned, flags flown, flowers watered, or trumpets blown without him knowing. Next closest to the Queen is the 9 ladies-in-waiting. These duchesses, countesses, and other fancy ladies act as assistants to the Queen. The number 1 lady-in-waiting is Fortune Fitzroy, Duchess of Grafton, who is 95 years old. Wait, shouldn't the Queen be serving her? The ladies-in-waiting should not be confused with the Queen's wardrobe department, which numbers 12 staffers. They record all her outfits and hats in a spreadsheet, ensuring no repeats. And before the Queen wears a new pair of shoes, one of them will actually break them in for her to loosen up the leather. The Queen also has a money manager called the Keeper of the Privy Purse, to make it the most British-sounding name possible. The Keeper also administers the Royal Philatelic Collection, otherwise known as her enormous stamp collection. And to make sure Her Majesty is on time, the palace employs a certified horologist known as the Royal Clockwinder. Show of hands if you thought horologist meant something different? Yeah, me for sure. You think that's an oddly specific job? Well, you haven't met the Queen's swan marker. It turns out the Queen owns all the swans in the River Thames, and every year the swan marker conducts a 5-day swan census. There are over 2,000 swans according to the latest census, and none of them know that they're royal, because they're swans. One of the older positions, and also the most celestial, is the Royal Astronomer, which has been in existence since 1675. Now mostly honorary, the Royal Astronomer must be on call to advise the Queen of the cosmos, should she request it. Yes, Queen, that asteroid is headed straight for us. Ew. Is it now? When there's a banquet, that's handled by a small staff. Asteroid is headed straight for us. Ew. Is it now? When there's a banquet, that's handled by a small staff of only 76 people. As soon as Her Majesty has put down her fork for each course, a page presses a button that changes the colours of an actual traffic light in the kitchen. Footmen emerge immediately to clear everyone's plates, then they head right downstairs to scheme against one another, as we all know from Downton Abbey. I sincerely hope the leftovers are given to the royal corgis. The Queen's corgis have been a part of her life since 1933, when her father, King George VI, first brought one home. Since then, the Queen has owned more than 30 of these short-legged little doggies. All of these staff have helped the Queen earn the title of longest ruling monarch in UK history. Long may she reign, for she is great, and the secondary economy she creates, even greater.
now we're watching more video, then in the video. This is 50 minutes, so let's see.
On a chilly November morning, a royal procession leaves Buckingham Palace on a journey to Westminster. Her Majesty the Queen is on her way to open her Parliament. Following behind in another coach is one of the greatest symbols of her reign, the imperial state crown. The pomp and ceremony of her arrival at Westminster is matched only by other images of her monarchy.
Now, I guess so much